the Phoenix kind of lingering. In that last game too, I forgot to mention one specific thing was Fato. What you were saying, he was kind of scared. He was kind of scared of the Phoenix also killing his courier. He walked back, missed a full wave, got his bottle. So, like we're saying, it seems like OG's putting a lot of pressure on him.
Charlie, from a human point of view, what sort of things get discussed in the gap between games 3 and 4 when you're 2-1 down?
Really, just especially in the way that Liquid lost here, they're going to talk about things like, you know, what is it about that draft that put us behind? Is it their team fight? Is it the mid hero? And then they're going to talk about, at least I hope they talk about, you know, not getting tilted, not feeling like, you know, we're bad or anything like that. This comes down to the draft. It comes down to strategy and the meta right now.
Okay, we're into draft number 4 of the day. OG lead 2-1. They are on championship point. And Team Liquid have picked up the slaughter.
You hear this though? The crowd, it's a slaughter, and they're like, yeah, slaughter, I love this hero.
And they even cheered when they banned the Void.
Yeah.
This crowd knows Dota.
Yeah.
This crowd knows Dota. I love this.
But that's the approach that Liquid's taking. You know what? They're like, this Void is really just, it's messing with everything that we want to do. Get it out of here. We have to change it up. These last two games just were.
So,
really
what do OG have as an answer here in the draft?
Probably still Phoenix. It's less good with the Chrono or without Faceless Void, but
Phoenix or Spirit was the thing they drafted the first few times.
You think they pick it first too?
I think Phoenix is pretty likely.
And if you feel like if they leave it, Liquid then get rid of it? Yeah, okay, fine.
I mean, you can still set up Sunray ganks with a variety of different heroes. You saw it on the crit Earth Spirit as well. Other stuns do exist in the game.
Allegedly.
Yes.
Allegedly.
10 seconds.
Okay, Sunray comes out.
Yeah, so
pick one for OG.
I'd expect an Earth Spirit. It worked well for them game 2. It's pretty much the same thing. Alright, they go for the Elder Titan.
The ET wasn't banned this time, like we were mentioning.
Yeah,
that was a change-up that they did. You know, they banned the Void instead, and like I mentioned, you know, OG's really liking that Elder Titan on Grid.
This is another great way to set up stun rate ganks as well. You just Spirit stun, incredibly easy.
Ooh, okay. That's one of the heroes that was banned second round consistently, and now Liquid gets to play with it.
It's almost like both teams didn't want to let the other team have it.
Yeah, it was the deciding heroes in games versus newbie, in games LGD. It's could do a lot here. They can pressure lanes.
It was LGD yesterday who did that to Liquid, right? They picked the Slardar off lane and they picked the Enchantress, and was it LGD? Was it LGD or newbie? I'm trying to remember. Maybe it was newbie.
Newbie has been picking it more often, but I could see both teams.
Because I remember they picked the Slardar and he heavily focused on just ganking the Slardar's lane and giving the Slardar a super early blink dagger. I think that game was like a 9-minute blink on the Slardar just because of how heavily they punished that short lane. So maybe Liquid's looking at the same kind of approach. They thought it was clever.
Yeah, and that was the first game, or the game where Jerax ended up dying and Fada died right before Rune spawned. So
how am I not remembering which game it is right now?
It was game 1, I believe, because they lost game 1 and then that was Liquid versus Newbie.
It was Newbie.
And then they came back to it.
Okay.
And Liquid is taking out the Darkseer and the Juggernaut heroes that gave them so much trouble in these last 2 series. And this time, if they want to pick a DK, maybe they don't have to worry about the Juggernaut being ungankable.
Covering off the Drow as well.
Yeah, they have Enchantress roam. It would be pretty strong.
Yeah, we saw Liquid kind of likes that. We obviously saw it in the series before with the Slardar amplifying all the physical damage and Drow enhancing everybody's physical damage as well. It's a really cheeky combo.
I just love how they responded with Enchantress based on those first 2 picks. Like, those are 2 supports that don't have very much control in the early game. Obviously, Elder Titan has some, but it's a little hard to land. It's more or less melee range. Enchantress is a good solution if those 2 can't stop him from roaming.
Is this time? Is it time for Liquid now? For the Medusa?
With the Drow ban, I'd be surprised because part of the reason that it was so successful for them in the previous game was because Medusa can go items like Lincoln Scotty or Lincoln Manta and still have damage.
Yeah. They take the disruptor for themselves, so a nice support that can stay in the lane since Enchantress is going to be moving around. But like back to the Medusa, I feel like Elder Titan can be very, very strong versus Medusa, and so can Phoenix because he kind of amplifies everything and reduces the armor and everything. So Medusa seems like it's kind of more of like a niche pick. So I don't think Liquid will really favor too much toward that, but they are having a lot of Fata's heroes banned out again, as we've been emphasizing.
Remaining.
It's going to be some tricky last bans as well here.
Disruptor's actually good again this game, I think. He can catch Batriders on him from his lane. They can lane pressure with enchant, so Disruptor can then zone offlaner and then go gank mid or somewhere else.
It feels like this in order for Disruptor to really be successful, Liquid needs to be ahead or pursuing.
Yeah.
In the last game, or in game 2, we saw Disruptor get behind, and that hero basically did nothing.
And Enchantress should facilitate that.
Absolutely.
Surely their next hero is going to be Fada's pick. Maybe.
Yeah. OG.
Yeah, I mean, they've been picking out 4 or 5, so could be.
Yeah, they have both supports. That is a highly chance that it's a Moon Batrider. We've been seeing him playing that pretty much exclusively.
I don't think we've
team.
ever seen a Miracle or a No-Tail Batrider.
Yeah,
I wouldn't put it past him.
I wouldn't put it past the No-Tail Bat because he is the tempo controller for the team. So it wouldn't be too outside the box, but it would be
I'd
a
be
change up.
super surprised because they focus so much on No-Tail getting farm and being that actual one position carry.
Ooh. They needed some physical damage here. They're all in on magic thus far, and Elder Titan enhances both, so TA's a pretty solid pick.
Gives them that Roche potential that they were kind of lacking. It gives them an objective taker. You know, they have the TA who can kind of be in the front line if he's followed up with the Elder Titan and the Phoenix.
I like this because it's again a lot of team fight combos. Yeah. Elder Titan and Phoenix together, especially with a Batrider as well.
Yeah, and the traps as well. Obviously, can always scout out the movements. Also help set up for the Batrider lasso. You can put a trap down and then he can get the initiation off of that.
It's such a good offensive jump as well. Just Batrider TA, they both link forward. Throw a Spirit on top of that, somebody dies in 2 hits.
Yep. Oh, and we do have Weaver picked up again. So it's very good versus Batrider in like the 1v1 scenarios.
It's very good against Phoenix as well.
Very good against Phoenix, yeah. Also helps with the Roshan. You can obviously throw bugs in and catch vision of it. It's not the best, but it is an option. And it's really interesting how OG picks the TA. So last game they picked the Sven to be able to clear the Ancients. Now they have the TA as well to clear the Ancients. So it really seems like they emphasize on having one of those cores that can really just farm the jungle and farm the neutrals quite effectively.
I mean, I think almost all good drafts have something like that.
Yeah.
Like even multiple patches ago, teams heavily prioritized, hey, one of your heroes has to be able to take Ancients because you lose so much efficiency if you can't take those stacks.
Yeah. During downtime or anything, like if you can't be.
Or if you're just sitting around the Roshan pit, somebody's got to take those Ancients.
Yeah, exactly. So no surprise, OG bans out the Viper. They don't want, of course, Viper versus TA is not a very great matchup.
We noticed all the bans, by the way. Offlane.
Yeah.
Mid. Seems like they're both targeting each other's players. Like there are 2 players on both sides which they're targeting via bans. Matumba Man and Fado on one side, Miracle and Moon on the other.
Yeah. And we do still have the Lycan is still left in the pool for Liquid if they do want to go for that. It doesn't give them they don't really have like a crazy amount of team fight, but it's their staple. It's their super comfort, but they did just lose with it twice.
It's not that bad against OG's draft actually. They're very weak on lockdown.
I mean, do you think they're gonna? It would have to be a Lycan mid or a Weaver mid.
Yeah.
Do you think
wow.
It'd be weird if they did.
That would be very weird.
I don't think they'll do that.
Oops. Whoops.
Well, what's the TA solution then? Do you still grab something like a Dragon Knight?
You could, but then, I mean, again, Dragon Knight just gets exploited in the lane. Maybe you can kill the TA with Enchantress or Disruptor gank, but you have nothing to burn through the refraction, at least reliably.
Yeah, there really isn't that much right now.
Yeah, I don't know why I said Lycan. I actually just completely overlooked the slur.
What does Fada pick up here?
What about like Razor against TA mid?
Razor does beat TA mid, but
it was a staple of his as well, and it's good versus the Batrider, but it's really heavily fallen like, completely out of the meta.
How about this one? How about Veno?
Okay, so Fada in the past has played a lot of mid Veno.
Yeah.
He actually is one of those players that likes playing that cancerous hero. I mean, he really enjoys it. I remember back in Dream League when he was on Cloud9, he was playing mid Veno and he was having a great time. He was just plopping wards down, eating with the other hand, and he's like, this is a great game, guys.
It sort of works here, but if he ever gets Elder Titan stomped, TA is going to kill him easy.
Here it comes.
So it's a little iffy.
Here it comes.
I think Razor's more likely here. They need the tanky Dragon Knight-like hero.
Reserve time.
What are we missing? Are we missing a hero? Are we missing something? What are we not thinking about? Venom.
Oh,
Okay, it's the thought of Lone Druid. Okay, this
has also played it as
this
well.
is real good.
Yeah, has also played Lone Druid during the tournament.
Interesting.
Once they get Radiance, TA's kind of screwed,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah, even
ahead.
in the lane, this is Lone Druid does really well against TA.
Yeah.
Only weakness is basically Lasso and Sunray. And I guess Elder Titan ult's pretty good as well if you can catch him since he has such a high HP pool.
Yeah, they have a lot of different counter initiation now for Liquid. They have the Disruptor and the Slardar. And the Weaver can roam. In this game right now, you look, OG does not really have any sustainable lockdown.
Ooh.
That's a new hero.
There you go, Paul.
95.
Not what you wanted, but
95 it is. 98 in total in terms of been picked and banned here
And it's
at the Manila Major. First time for the Wraith King.
reliably, semi-reliable lockdown for the Weaver. They needed something with the stun there. So since the Sven was banned, I think they might have wanted that instead. But now they go for the Wraith King, so lifesteal.
So 2-1 up. Championship point on the line. Let's go with the Wraith King. Why not?
You said it.
Yeah.
You said we're going to see some change up the third game, or well, this is the fourth game, but
Fourth game,
we're going to see the change up,
Yeah.
something completely out of the box.
I actually I like
Charlie's
the Wraith
Charlie's
pick.
stunned
No,
right
no,
now.
I like it a lot. You know what? I like these last picks out of both teams so much.
It's a good change up.
Yeah, the mix-up is so good. I'm really impressed by these guys' presence of mind.
TA with lifesteal as well from the Wraith King is very, like you overlook it very much.
and with minus armor, it's super excellent.
Yep.
All right, okay, thank you to all three of you again. We'll be back after game 4, but we'll be celebrating OG's victory in the championship. Or can Liquid hold on? Let's find out as we go back to our commentary team of Gods and LD.
That's right. Liquid fighting for their playoff lives here, folks. Game 4 has already begun. Let's get into it. So, gods, who has the better pocket pick? Do you like the Lone Druid? Do you believe in his majesty, the Wraith King, formerly a skeleton?
Ooh, they both fit the game, the draft so well. For Liquid, a lot of early pressure, great timing around the Radiance. For OG, it's a great way to react and have a defensive carry once you get that reincarnation online later on. So it's going to be a really interesting matchup. This empowers the TA so much, having the lifesteal. One of the kind of interesting stats about last game is that they actually got more healing out of the Vlads than they did Sunray. That's how good lifesteal can be in Dota 2.
Yeah, and they are dire side. It helps them to take Roshan a bit earlier. It used to be a kind of common pocket strat we saw for some teams with the Ursa Wraith King duo. Don't so much see it anymore, but also definitely not to hear your game planning for if you're Liquid. So, panel maybe thought some pocket picks would be saved for TI6. I'm sure they still have some other things prepared, but this is certainly a new trick because this time we don't have a crazy clash at the bounty ruins. It'll be a calm grab, one for each team. So no two for this time around. We are going to see early skirmishing here. Crits in pretty far. Mind Control and Kuroki usher him away.
They're recognizing that Crypt wants to disrupt Kuro's jungling capabilities. He wants to get in there to block a camp.
Oh, bottom lane, Moon. He's had such a good showing this series. Could be in big trouble here, bottom nose, but Tumble Man is a Sakuchi cooling down. One more auto attack through the trees, gets off the salve, juking, but it's not enough heal. The salve gets canceled. Moon's in a lot of trouble, and Matumba Man gets the body block out in front. Jerax continue to pursue. Can they bring him down? He even pops the fairy fire. He's using up all his ammunition just to live him. Matumba Man, one more Sakuchi forward. Can Moon make it out? Body block again. He needs a couple more auto attacks. The Tango as well. Can they kill him? No, he lives. The boy that lived.
And look at this, Matumba Man, 0 CS. Bottom creep wave pushing out. They've completely lost creep equilibrium here. Moon can suicide, then TP back and he gets level 2.
Meanwhile, Mind Control, will he be so lucky? He's got a crush, but that stop beats him to the punch. The Sunray's still going. They chase. He will make it out. Both offlaners getting punished. So Moon, as you mentioned,
this is great for Moon.
will
though.
suicide, but the lane is pushed.
Oh, he got the side pull off, so the range creeps aren't going to go to Moon's way. He's only going to get one creep's worth of experience, but the creep wave is completely pushed up to his tower now, guaranteeing a level 2 when you're in this 1v2 setup against a strong laning carry. That's where this Weaver pick is kind of the answer to the previous 2 games lost. They decide they want a hero that can get more involved early on, as well as have more laning credits. They can actually zone Moon out using this hero.
Round 2 under Mind Control. The stop's there once more. This time the crush on both as well. But Slardar already chewing through that region at a rapid clip. And, I mean, looking at the way these offlanes are going, Gods, do either of these heroes need to go to the jungle? We don't see an Iron Talent for Mind Control. He did try to start in the lane. Moon so far not willing to give up on bottom. Is there a point where they just say screw it?
For Moon, it comes perhaps around the level 3 of Disruptor, when there's a Disruptor as well as Weaver who can go on you and kill you. For the starter, you don't really want to go to the jungle because you have the Enchantress on your side. You want to pressure the lanes.
And speaking of which, there is a Tornado now top. Gonna be making life a little pesky for No Tail. We'll see Mind Control also suiciding to neutrals. Still no first blood though.
Yeah. He can't. We've seen the top lane. He only survives when he has mana for the Slithering Crush. So
Does by the Quelling Blade. So both teams with a moment to think here. Pretty even in the early game.
well, we'll see how things pan out here. ET so far, the pick that got through, which Crit has not got to play yet this series. Looking for that level 2 so we can have that long range initiation with the Echo Stomp.
We're back underway. So OG still committing to the full tri lane for now. Sauter slowly making his way back along with that Tornado, forever chasing No Tail. And in the mid lane, TA is still falling slightly behind, but Miracle's still holding his own here at these early levels. No entangle yet for Fata.
I love Fata just uses a Savage Roar just to get a deny on a range creep.
Hey, why not?
Yeah, I mean, 30-second cooldown, you're not really being ganked. Well, I'd say that he might be getting ganked soon if he's not careful. Crit is nearby.
There's a stomp available. He can do it from the high ground with the ward to give him vision, but Enchantress is coming in right below the Elder Titan. So KuroKy guarding these lanes pretty nicely. Bottom lane, our Bat Rider for Moon is in trouble. May end up going down here. He's gonna survive, but he's getting his levels, guys. As bad as this lane looks for him, he's getting experience. The Slardar also doing not so well. He's only level 1, close to level 2, but Moon, as bad as it looks to blow through like 300, 400 golden regen, the experience is what really matters here.
Yeah, absolutely. He's going to have that jungle taking capabilities, and he's even putting a lot of pressure on this bottom lane. Jarek's swooping through, looking for him in the trees, but Moon's made the journey back to the fountain.
Been a quiet start for KuroKy on the Enchantress. Is there like an area he should be focusing right now?
It's hard because TA mid is somewhat immune to ganks if you have the refraction up, and that's something which you're just going to play around, knowing there's an Enchantress on the opposing team. Initially, Kuro sends the Tornado creep top to try help Mind Control out, but isn't really being able to get much out of this lane despite that, so I think Kuro does need to get involved and be aggressive, but OG.
Stomp on the creeps. Crit gonna try to hit one, but gets denied by the Hellbear Smasher. Creeps killing their own. Hopefully they don't come after us next. OG just tiny back in the tri lane. We still see that 1v1 mid. Lone Druid is level 5 though, so there's the potential for an entangle now. Maybe we see KuroKy start to set his eyes on the TA, but not at this moment, as Miracle does have a haste currently bottled.
Yeah, until that haste is really out of the picture, I don't think any kind of kill there is feasible, even if they TP in a Disruptor. But top lane OG could try and set up on Mind Control. Sunray level 2. The level 3 Phoenix is really where the kill potential of the Phoenix gets amped up, and Bly can look to set up on this top lane, or even potentially mid lane where action is about to unravel if Kuro can grab a creep or two.
What's he gonna get here? It will be a troll trap for him. Still doesn't look like an easy kill with that haster in the bottle. And the TP on Miracle as well. So he's pretty ready for this early pressure. Just slow opening in the lane. He'd say 3 cores farming well here on the Dire side. OG getting the better as far as the CS goes. A bit more spread for Liquid. But
Liquid have the jungle, I guess, so they're actually a tiny bit of an overall net worth lead, but really at this stage you're looking at both lineups. Perhaps Liquid slightly getting less than what they hoped for out of the early game since the Enchantress rotations haven't
Moon.
worked.
This could be trouble. He's trying to run. The bugs are on him currently. Jarek glimpses him back into the waiting arms of the Weaver. He gets caught in the cage. This time, I don't know if Moon makes it out. He does pop the sticky napalm. Jarek starts to drop pretty quickly. Miracle's on the hunt. The first blood will go the way of Team Liquid, but they're going to lose Jarex as a trade. So Miracle, a quick drive-by for him. Nets him a kill. They'll give the experience to Fly, and immediately that TA will make another move. Where is that move? Matumba Man poking Fly bottom. It's just going to be back to farming mid, and Enchantress descending on the top lane during this time. You'd love to kill the Wraith Queen before he hits level 6. Mind Control Gonna pop the sprint, now the slow comes out, the crush is there, where's the support? Batrider's forced to TP in and try to salvage this. A quick Hadouken, then the stun. Is it gonna be enough as No Tail retreats? It looks like it will be, and now Moon might be able to get a kill. There's the glimpse back, even Jerax joining the fray here in the top lane. 6 heroes rotating all over the map, and then Crit will make his journey back.
Both teams
But in the end, just 1-1.
counterpunch after counterpunch. You see an initiation, your Wraith King Moon's like there, okay, I gotta save my buddy, and then it's Disruptor TPing in like, okay, this bat's about to kill my Kuro Edge, let's TP in and save things. So
Those 50 gold TPs. Everybody's on the move now.
Radiant's middle
Overall,
tower is under attack.
good news for OG is that Wraith King doesn't go down pre-level 6, and even if he was level 6, you don't really want to use that 5-minute cooldown reincarnation for just a gank like that this early on,
So Ancients are being stacked up here for the TA. Or no, sorry, was that for the TA? I guess not. No, just creeps being stacked for the dire side for now. But definitely something that they can look to take advantage of as the game moves along. OG do have some pretty good clear there in the jungle. They can also rotate the Wraith King to farm and give the lane to a support, and that's really been the key for them, is Phoenix getting good levels or Crit last game on the Lion. So I imagine we'll see them make that move fairly soon.
yeah, No Tail's really good at just spreading the wealth amongst his supports, and more importantly, getting their level 6s online. So for now, Liquid again setting up top. Kurz Enchantress though has just been very low impact so far. That can always very quickly change. And the off lane from Mind Control hasn't exactly been a very friendly place, with OG camping 3 heroes top constantly.
As for Fada now, looks like
Glimpse back bottom. They've gone in on Crit.
Make a move here, but it's close to the tower. Crit turns it with a quick stop. Matumba Man has the time lapse. May need to commit it. No, he wants to go in. The Sunray coming through will drive them away. It's a 3-hero rotation though, for very little ventured by Liquid. And that frees up the other lanes, where Lone Druid starts to work on the tower mid. We do see the Slardart getting some farming experience up towards top.
And again, there's a response. The TA TP's bottom because of the glimpse, and then instantly someone's there to TP mid to protect the tower from Fata's pressure. So, nice bit of play coming out from both teams. Very reactive game from both teams. It's not really been a passive game by any means. Both teams are looking for kills. It's just the defensive play coming out from the supports and offlanes has just been on point.
Do you feel it favors either team? It's even numerically. Does that give either team an edge?
Neither team has a draft built around the early game. Yes, Enchantress, you want to find those successful rotations, but you look at the big picture with Liquid's draft, with Slada, Lone Druid, and Weaver, your timings come around the Radiance, most importantly, of the Lone Druid. The Slada Blink Dagger is another big timing. The Enchantress early game ganks are purely to try and speed up those timings. If you're unsuccessful, those timings still exist, they just come a couple minutes later. So I think for Liquid, they're going to hit their stride in the mid game. For OG, it's a similar thing, but it's less about the items and more about the levels. Hitting level 6 on Phoenix, having the Batrider later on. I want to say this might, he's going to, I'm curious to see what build he goes for. It looks like Moon may just be going straight into some kind of a drum build. He likes to go for this tanky, disruptive, kind of space-creating Batrider. Doesn't even really prioritize the lasso that much, but for OG, they want to kind of play the farming game right now.
Yeah, as he called it, the Bone 7 build, so still here in the spirit as they stun Kuroki top. They're going to use the Sunray to bring that Enchantress low. Not sure if they're going to have enough damage to get the kill, but it revs up, it drops him almost immediately. Bambi could be dinner. No Tail is looking for the stun. Good jukes by Kuroki for now, and there's action in the mid lane while this is all happening. He pops to the trees, he heads away. Finally, they will finish him off, but that came at the cost of the TA. Overall, certainly a big win here for Team Liquid, and they transition immediately into a push god. Crit trying to slow this down, but Mind Control able to amp him and drive him back. Getting good chip damage out in this tower.
And he couldn't even go for the Echo Stomp to delay the push because of Mind Control's positioning, so this tier 1 mid suddenly completely exposed.
And Liquid, their customary aggressive invasion has begun. Phase boots Weaver. Definitely goes well with the double attack, as they will dive Crit, and the minus armor from Slardar, very significant. He does get off a stomp though, the Sunray.
Hold the tower.
Not gonna use that extra bit of damage. They allow Matumba Man to time lapse out, I think worried that Mind Control would turn back and kill the Phoenix, but they might have been able to commit there for a Weaver kill. Would have been very close, as Moon gets pursued by the bear here. Miracle's gonna work on it. Savage Roar allows the retreat. Liquid do grab the tower.
The beauty of the Echo Stomp is that if you're under a tower, that tower does not wake you up, and that almost punishes the Weaver, who was very, very low in HP there.
Especially going for the phase boots here, just a little bit squishier than a few of the power shreds.
Very
Does make it
cost-effective damage, the 24 damage you get from this item, but Something that he does have to be wary of as Liquid make their next rotation towards top. Jerix's Disruptor has been kind of the initiator that's all of Liquid's kills so far and looking to do more to continue and get involved.
Moon and Notel sticking together for now as OG streaming towards the bottom lane, drawing a line. It looks like almost behind the Weaver. Let's see where they look to go. The Spirit's going to do a bit of scouting. They're just holding the tower for the time being, and Liquid also moving in. They're sweeping around from the rear. Neither team that close to finding a kill just yet.
Notel going
That could
aggressive.
change, though.
This is something that can get punished.
Yeah, he has already skilled up the ultimate, but even just putting that level 1 Wraith King on cooldown is a big deal. 260 seconds. Notel won't have the extra life, and just like that, it's gone. Can OG punish? Flame breaks there, pushes him back into an Echo Stop. Good setup of mind control. Can OG find the follow-up? They roast him. Courtesy of the Phoenix again doing work, but it's the bugs that are forcing Fly back. That minus armor really does add up as the Static Storm is committed. Catching out Moon. Miracle TP's into it too, but they're a bit too low. They have to disengage. They slow down the bear. Looking to bring it down as well. And they will succeed. A Miracle pursuing a bit farther with the double damage route. Can they find more? Looks like he will be glimpsed back. So the chase is over. Matumba Man, though, lurking in the trees. Sentry gets dropped. They will be forced to fly, but speaking of fly gods, it seems like this Weaver is a bit of a problem for the Phoenix this game.
Yeah.
He didn't die there, but it could be a sign of things to come.
And Gemini always going to be good against the Phoenix. Miracle gets pulled back in. He's 50 gold short of his blink tag. He needs to be kept alive.
That Echo Stop, though, by OG, forcing Liquid to run as Moon engages Flame Breaks there again. Jerix dropping low on the front line. The Weaver trying to chase him in the rear. The egg comes through on top of Matumba Man's head. Can they get the kill? Doesn't look like if Jerix able to survive for the time being. Matumba Man time lapses and heads to the north instead. So everybody from Liquid just barely scrapping away on a sliver of HP. Egg is down. The Wraith King ult down for 3 minutes still.
And that's a full 5v5 top and one hero dies that entire fight. Just the mind control slider going down, as well as a reincarnation. In some ways it is a 1-for-1 because of how important that reincarnation cooldown is. This is a 3-minute window for Liquid where they can group up, play kind of aggressively. They haven't hit the Radiance yet on Fata, but there is some worth in just having the other 4 heroes make a play towards his top lane, knowing that Notel doesn't have ultimate.
He's been farming the whole time and now sits very close to a relic here at only 14 minutes with the Midas, and the amount of involvement he's had, quite a good start.
Yeah.
Do you feel like OG can deal with the Radiance? That's the question, because it is coming at a fast clip.
And if they keep up in terms of farm, they have ways to deal with it as far as just scaling into the late game with multiple cores. The way this Batrider built into this kind of more mobile, tanky build with the drum, potentially an Aether Lens, is also less timing dependent. It's a way to basically say, we're not going to be reliant on getting blink pickoffs, we're going to react to what you do. If Liquid are setting the tempo, having this tinkier build works out really well.
OG possibly getting flanked here by a Disruptor and Slardar, who now occupied their jungle. Looks like they want to just, indirect way, guard the lone Druid, but OG and Horde direct way are hitting buildings right now. Notel, the man in front, already completed the armlet.
They're hunting for miracles, expecting him to perhaps be at Ancients, but not finding him just yet.
Radiant's bottom tower
He did go for the early blink here. Dessa almost always the next choice. They're dire, so they'll really want that Roche potential, but although Liquid don't find a kill, they get some good wards out. And they fuel that future aggression and
They see
set up
Miracle
glimpses
now.
as well. Do they go on him?
They can time it around the refraction. They may be able to do this with the Static Storm. They're scanning to see if he has backup, but it's such a risky kill to go for.
And all the while, the Weaver just pushing away in this top lane. Hiding in the trees is the Elder Titan. Trying to zone him back. Very patient from Liquid. It's going to be Notel who struts in. That is not the hero they necessarily want to go on with an armlet. They're just watching. They are thinking about it, though. And Weaver also thinking about diving top a little bit. Everybody dancing.
They're still
They
in these
still
trees.
haven't seen them.
Jerix and mind control. This is some
Radiant's
Black
bottom
Ops
tower.
movement from these two players.
MI6 called. They want you back, guys.
Yeah. Whatever the German equivalent of MI6 is.
I believe it's SAS.
There we go. That's what you're here for, David.
Actually, I think it's GS9. My CS 1.6 knowledge is a little rusty.
Yeah, you're the Counter-Strike player here. Well, Liquid asserting their dominance on the map, and while doing this, Fata has quietly farmed up a Relic and a soon-to-be Radiance. This lone druid is in a fantastic position this game to just...
I don't think there's a similar level of snowball item at this point for OG.
And in some ways, the lone druid is like the Lycan replacement. This is that hero that you win a fight, you suddenly take rack. So they don't have a Lycan, but they have a hero that fits the exact same position, except it won the laning stage for them because it can outlane a TA. So Liquid suddenly find themselves set up to succeed come like not really even 20 minutes in the game. They're just about to be at that point with Radiance where they can take fights. The only tool they're missing is Mind Control's Blink. Surprising to see that come up after the Radiance, but it's been a rough off-lane.
And for OG, what do? Do they try to sneak a Roshan? Do we see them split push?
Fight around the Blink daggers, no tail.
Speaking of which, oh, Derek's quick on the glimpse there.
Miracle, I think, missed his Meld Strike on the Derek.
They're still going to pursue, though. The Sunray comes in with the Elder Titan Spirit. Oh my god, no damage.
And the thing you have to do against Flame Disruptor is make him the target you jump. Take Static Storm out of the picture. Make it so that once you fight, you can disengage because there's no threat of a glimpse. And that's what OG can do with Blink Daggers on both Miracle and No Tail. No Tail, there we go. Picks it up after taking the tier 1 mid tower, and now they've got
good
Blink.
gap closing.
Yeah, and these Blinks work so well together because if Miracle blinks him by himself, he may just get blown up, but it now means No Tail can start the fight with a Blink. These Blinks just get stronger and stronger the more that you have on your team.
So the Weaver, I haven't talked too much about him. He's created a lot of space here for that lone druid, but is building towards a Linked Sphere for Matumba Man. So more and more items starting to come in. Kuroki working on an Aghanim Scepter. Any other important item pickups that we haven't already mentioned? Looks like Crit is on his way to a Yules, and we have seen the Elder Titan Yules can be a big difference maker in team plays.
Yeah, he's got the level 4 Stomp too now, so this is very dangerous to fight into. Liquid though, Radiance Online have immediately smoked in a heading towards that Roche pit, but we'll quickly realize that's not what OG are up to.
Now, Kuroki is not smoked, and he was spotted by a Dire Ward. Could almost bait OG out of position if they think the rest of the team is in the neighborhood.
And they realize that Liquid have smoked up or made
Look
some
at Miracle,
kind of
though.
movement.
He's doing the meld hide shenanigans to break smokes.
And this is so good when you know your opponents are getting active on the map.
Well, even if Liquid smoke breaks, will they be quick enough? It's going to be very tough to get that vision in time.
No refraction up, but unlikely to matter here.
Crouching Miracle. Matumba Man going to scurry past him.
And they don't have detection. Oh, they don't have a sentry. They will have, I assume they have detection. Ooh. No, they don't actually. That's not good.
That's worrying. Miracle. The assassin lurks.
Watch out, Disruptor.
Liquid are a little suspicious, kind of dancing around him. Does he go for the courier and try to jump away? Yeah, he'll snipe it. He'll blink out. A quick kill, and meanwhile, the bear almost died.
Needs to be
They
careful
do
not
have
to
the
get
glimpse, though. Keeping in the trees. Special Agent Miracle makes it out. Mind Control can only beat the ground where he once stood. Space created. Yep. And they hold this lane, and now they look to make their own move. All kinds of lines being drawn here by Mind Control.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Seems they are also suspicious. Out in front, it's going to be the Elder Titan and the Wraith King. The Bruisers are here. Mind Control with the one hero crush. It only catches Miracle, and the fight breaks out in earnest. To the left, they pursue Jerax, who gets chopped down. Easily dealt with by the TA, swooping around and then delivering the egg. Will be flying. Nobody's focusing it. Liquid ignoring the egg, ignoring the Earth Splitter, just plunging forward. It seems like they might be able to hold and return fire as they do have a Disruptor buyback. They'll be in range soon. They bring down the TA. They're looking for more. They quick effect. The focus on Crit. Can they finish him off? The Bear still chasing No Tail. No Tail survives, but he could get kited if he's the last man standing. He still has that reincarnation. Needs the armlet toggle this. Fly also in trouble. That's 3 dead. It might be 4. Fly in the trees. No escape. He's crushed too, and now it's just No Tail. Big Daddy glimpse back. A full wipe could be the offing for Liquid as they look to turn this game on its head. Catching out the Wraith King, focusing him down. He might be a boss, but he is one they can conquer. Liquid with a full 5-man wipe off the back of a single buyback, I believe, there on the Disruptor.
I mean, they commit a lot of resources, both Blink Daggers, to go on Jerax there. And it's the right call in a lot of ways, but the long sustained fight is where Liquid is going to get so much damage output from Batter's Radiance on the Lone Druid. On top of that, Matumba Man gets the time lapse off. There's such little control for this OG draft to actually deal with the Weaver. Now that there's a Lincoln Sphere up, it gets even more difficult, but
they need that
Lincolns,
burst as well.
Yeah, there's not great burst. There's only really the Lasso as well as the Wraith King Blast to actually reliably lock him down, and that's not something you can even rely on if you don't have detection for the Shikuchi.
In good news for OG, Desolator is coming soon. Maybe not the best against the Lone Druid, as he's already very tanky, but potentially can chunk down some of those supports. They were able to get the Disruptor kill, but the buyback did make a difference there for Liquid, getting the follow-up cleanup kills as heroes retreated.
They want to make their next move. They're already drawing on the map, like, let's smoke up, take control of that area again. Probably recognizing that they have a really good Roche-taking lamp, so you win a fight like that, you're quickly taking Aegis for yourself. It is a Phoenix around the Roche pit. This time around, no Void in that picture, though. But, I mean, ET Phoenix, probably the next scariest thing to the Phoenix plus Faceless Void.
Probably our closest game here so far of the series, gods, is it's barely been a 1 to 2,000 gold lead the entire game. Only 11 kills. Overall, not many heroes hitting the deck, but a lot of heroes dropping low, lots of rotations. These teams are showing respect. They don't just bring one, they bring the entire squad anytime they go for a pick-off.
And you can really see Liquid have adapted the draft. They have ways to bring down the egg. The Weaver Gemini attack, Enchantress with the long-range attack. Disruptor less so, but you're looking at heroes that aren't just like all in on melee. Like last game it was 4.5 melee heroes in a lot of ways. This time around you've got 2 really good heroes to kill the egg, and potentially more once you get like a BKB on someone like Slatter later on.
There's your Desolator for Miracle now complete. Flying out on the Courier. Roll of a regen rune, so he'll be in tip-top shape for this engagement, but do they dare fight into the Radiance? Can they take that engagement?
They can find Jerks. Ideally they kill him with just the TA. With the Deso now, probably 2, possibly 3 right clicks could be enough to burst him down.
I think it's 2 if you get the meld off here.
Yeah.
Might be a little tough though if Liquid are ready with detection. As they focus the bear in the fight, could be breaking out momentarily. No Tail does get caged, but that's the Wraith King. Not the hero you want to start the fight on. Not while his ultimate's up.
And the nice thing about the OG heroes is they do have the decent lineup to actually focus down the Spirit Bear in terms of just being able to stun it up initially with the Wraith Fire Blast, the Sun Ray plus the right click damage of TA and Wraith King. Not something that a Spirit Bear can just shrug off.
So the Radiant quickly scanned. It looks like they got a glimpse there of the bat. Wary that OG could be walking right into the Roche pit as soon as they see Liquid retreat. And Liquid do have to be cautious as it's a very quick Roche with the Deso, the meld. But they're still in the neighborhood. And they will now move forward. 3 heroes backing up the Lone Druid. Slow and steady does it. Do you feel either team's getting an edge out of this lack of kills, the lack of big objectives going down?
For the most part, Liquid are. They're the ones who are pushing out on the map. OG can't take Roshan despite having the TA Wraith King. It's Liquid who are really pressing the issue more, not taking objectives quite yet, but they're in a position where all it's going to take is one pick off and they're in the Roche pit, or they're taking a tier 2 tower. And their draft is so unforgiving for OG. If you make that mistake and lose a core hero, even if you lose just someone like an ET, that could be enough to secure yourself Roshan on the side of Liquid.
OG are in the neighborhood as well. Liquid leading with Matumba Man, sending now a creep even farther forward, going for a deep scout. But the heroes are backing off. You can see that they're taking a very deliberate approach. They don't feel a need to force things. They have some key items coming out soon. You mentioned killing the egg, and probably the biggest item to help with that is just going to be the Aghanim Scepter for Kuroki.
Tumba's going to have a defusal soon, so he's going to have even more agility and attack speed to burst down that egg with. It's still a level 1 Supernova as well for Fly.
But OG smoke, and they do move down into the river. So many of their smokes worked the past 2 games, but they scan up the hill, they clear it, they close in. Right now it would just be Jerax they catch.
They saw vision too.
Kuroki would be bigger, and they do get eyes on him. The Sunray comes in, the Spirit over the top, Nota with the stun, the stomp connects. That's a quick kill, but they're looking for more. Miracle on the hunt. He does see Jerax. Jerax has the glimpse, I believe. Meld shot, it's gonna take 3 shots. Oh, just barely.
You said 2 LD and 2 got him down to 15 HP. Jerax, I guess, did the math.
I'm not sure. Was TA on edgy treads there? I'm not sure, but either way,
could have made all the difference.
That's one of those things that could actually make me.
Meanwhile, Moon.
Let's get pursued out bottom. Matumba Man able to back away though, has the Lincoln Sphere and doesn't really fear the Bat Rider on his own.
Has that protection from the lasso, so able to make that kind of play, but all it took was that pickoff and suddenly OG in the Roach pit. Can they do this fast enough though?
Liquid are not remotely in the neighborhood right now, and
they smoke up preemptively. They don't even catch them. They just smoke 2 heroes, Sparta as well as Kuro. Not even caught in this one, but they just want to get there as fast as humanly possible.
Gonna be tougher for Fly though. Can he get off a big egg this time? It won't be so easy, and the Swarm could give them a bit of vision as NoTel. They sidestep it, they grab the Aegis again. Somehow, someway, OG keep on having these miraculous rogue fights, and now it's under mind control. They get the kill there, the static storm too late. Miracle able to walk away. They glimpse back the Wraith King, the Phoenix Egg will end, and now they chase the Bear. That's basically a hero as far as the golden experience goes at this stage. To take it out of the picture, they lock it down, they will blow it up. And now they chase for more. Jerax on the run. The Glimpse is pulling down. Miracle's got the blink. He's got the angle. A good defensive kinetic field though, and the Glimpse back will prevent the chase forward. So it ends up being another kill on the Slardar. A Spirit Bear down, but most importantly, gods, OG got their Aegis. They're now once again in the lead.
OG are just playing with confidence. Like, I look at kind of the state of the game before that pickup on entrance, like, it's not looking amazing for OG as far as the item pickup, having the Ag Scepter on the Enchantress soon, having the Vlad plus Radiance on there. Fighting into this is very difficult for OG, but all it took was one pick off. They're in the Rose Pit. They take ages before Liquid can even get there, and then off of that, Liquid really press the issue to try and contest Roshan, but you're contesting it into the Supernova on the high ground. And again, we see Liquid lose a fight around Roshan. OG.
Oh, this could be problematic now. God, there's a BKB up on TA and an AC about to come out for NoTel. A lot of extra armor to deal with the Bear, to some extent the amp damage, the Swarm as well. There is good magic damage on Liquid, so it's not a catch-all solution, but it certainly helps. And TA with a BKB, can Liquid deal with it? Well, if they stun him first, that's one way to do it. They catch out Miracle, and he just blinks away, courtesy of the refraction, but they glimpse it back in. They will bring him down once. The BKB is not on the hero, unfortunately. It's in the stash. They may just have to give him up. Elder Titan to the rescue. They're looking to dodge the stop. Miracle, though, being hounded by that Spirit Bear. They may just have to give him up, and they will. Already spent his gold, so not the end of the world, but still a big opening. Down for a minute. That may mean a tower down mid.
That's huge. He just bought BKB. This is a tier 2, potentially even a high ground poke. OG do have the ET to defend with.
Leading with Matumba Man, looking for the courier there. Not able to get the double attack off on it, unfortunately. That would have been the AC delayed a couple minutes as well.
Liquid will have seen the BKB purchase, and you kind of know BKB is one of those items that you buy and you don't worry about buying.
Wasn't in his inventory, but they're still going to go for it. The last one to Jerax, they pull him up to the high ground, goes flat for the Elder Titan stop. Well, if they were thinking about pushing, they're not going high ground.
I'll think twice, but a miracle kill does give Liquid a lot of room to farm, get back some map control, even with the disruptor loss. It is Fly, who's hit level 11 now on Phoenix, so the level 2 Supernova.
I just keep on, you know, sometimes you get too caught up in the numbers and the graphs, but I just keep on looking at it. It's like, it goes up 2k, it goes down 3k, up 2k, up 1k. It's so close, and we're almost 30 minutes in. It feels like this is one of those times where the graph does reflect the state of the game. These teams are very evenly matched here in game number 4.
And all it's going to take is that one big team fight, and suddenly it's Lane Braxton. This 1-2k even game is like a 10k gold lead. So.
Oh, Kuro, he just wants his eggs. Let me have it, Moon, please. Okay. And he'll get it, actually. Takes over the Centaur, stomps it for good measure, puts the Imps fly. But Tumbaman's chasing. Is this going to be a big play? Moon blinking out. Doesn't want to give up a freebie.
Dead? Okay.
Close call.
He got down to 58. If he didn't pop his one there, which he almost forgot to do.
He's only 20 gold away from the Ag, so death there probably would have been incredibly frustrating.
And he'll TP home to finish it off. But OG suddenly in a strong fighting position. They're about to hit level 16 on NoTel, which gets them that short 60-second cooldown on Reincarnation.
Oh, that's a big one. Does that completely change the dynamic of these upcoming fights for you?
Yeah, to me it's like how the dynamic changes when your Void gets an Ag Scepter. Suddenly you've got this short cooldown which you can just fight around because so often. You don't have this, oh, we gotta wait 2 more minutes before we've got Reincarnation. It's like, no, we're ready to fight. Oh, 30 seconds later, oh, we're ready to fight again. So OG can just play a lot more aggressively with NoTel. He's already getting scary and tankier with the AC pickup, so it will give OG the ability to play a lot faster going into the mid game.
Thumberman moving in mid, he gets the Swarm off on Miracle, quickly goes in Viz and then melts him in the face. Will be forced to run away immediately. Thumberman's been farming very well, but it doesn't feel like he's been able to be a huge impact in team fights.
He's got this defusal. His job really needs to be to try and find and kill that egg, but
tough with how patient Fly is holding it.
He almost is in a good position to scout that smoke rotation, but he's the ideal person to do so because there is a lack of control.
Oh, he's gonna break it. They could initially Yules and then Lasso follow up and go on him. Instead they turn on Kuroki and they bring him down instantly. The Enchantress the total on factor. Now the Savage Roar used as OG will be forced to disengage by the Spirit Bear. But they just keep on finding pickoffs here in the mid game, and this is a bigger one. Gods, he threw out the Flame Break rather early, trying to drag him back towards the team, goes to the TP out. Will they right kick get there in time? No, they couldn't get the lasso. The back couldn't make it either. They even had the Wraith King and the Elder Titan closing in, but it just wasn't fast enough.
Moon's gonna have nightmares about that entangle. He just needed to get there, get in range for the lasso, but I thought Fatu was like, okay, I'll TP in Savage Roar, but Savage Roar was on cooldown.
Liquid looking to ambush OG. They actually smoked wall down their Enchantress and are looking for a play on the mid lane. Elder Titan out a bit far. They could potentially glimpse him back. Can they get that vision? You betcha. Jerax reels him in. Hello, crit, and goodbye, sir. So Jerax, he's been quiet on the Disruptor the past few games, but finally gets them what could be a very big kill.
That's your big high ground defender too, taken out of the picture.
Between that and the Sunray, you're not pushing in easily. But
and having ET dead really takes away a lot of Phoenix's teamfight presence because you don't have the Echo Stomp to protect your Supernova. But even so, Liquid very hesitant to just push up into the high ground.
You know, could even potentially have a buyback on the Elder Titan and get completely caught out.
So they'll play it slow and steady.
And now OG smoking again. They've been chewing through these as of late, and good positioning here by Kuro. He might reveal this. No, the lasso gets him. They still manage to catch him out. Oh, you poor, unfortunate soul. Down again. He at least prevents a core from dropping.
Poor Bambi.
I mean, better Kuro than a carry, I suppose, but
Yeah.
Enchantress is supposed to be an impact hero at this stage of the game, Gods.
At this stage, Kuro has not had the success in the early game we hoped for, and even in the mid game has been very focused on his own farm and yet to really come into form as far as being able to offer much in these team fights. But Liquid still in a decent position as far as having farm on their two big core heroes. The Slaughter at least has the mobility items, but it's OG who are not just got momentum in terms of this game, but the series as a whole after taking Game 2 and Game 3.
OG still staying in striking distance when it comes to farm here. It's a little more spread out on them. For Liquid, a little more concentrated in the hands of the Elite 2. Mind control. Oh, he blinks in. He wants that rune. He is going to get stunned. He may pay for this. The Bear trying to zone them back a bit. A good flame break by Moon. The follow-up is there. They get the kill. Forced to buy back immediately. Then the purge on the Moon. Can they kill him on the way out? He's the Gem Bear. That would be a bigger one. OG scrambling the retreat. They want to get out quickly and no tail. He'll engage forward. Miracle there with the BKB. Played into the Bear. They've got the extra life here still in the Wraith King, but Miracle's going to have to abandon no tail as soon as he gets rooted once. The stomp comes through. Our Splitter as well. He blinks to the north. He does manage to escape in between the intervals of the Radiance damage. And he makes it out, so it ends up being a 2-for-1 there with the buyback on the Slardar, but they don't manage to get the gem. That is still Moon's.
OG's defensive play are taking out the Disruptor from the fight, and once Disrupted out of the fight, they're entirely reliant on mind control for the lockdown and setup. And Liquid by no means lacking physical damage. Talking about a Deso Weaver with amp damage, you can see how fast, it was like a 2-shot on Moon that got him down to half HP there. But they don't have the control. He Fireflies out of there. Similar story where the TA is just blinking around really well. Wraith King's being protected by the Echo Stomp as well of the Elder Titan, and Liquid are really struggling to keep heroes in place to finish these kills off.
No smoke for 4.5 minutes here for your Dire squad. They do have one left on crit in the inventory, but that is going to be it. As for...
That's with Roche respawning during that smoke downtime.
Or for OG rather, and as for Liquid, 7 minutes with only one on Kuroki.
Yeah, they've got a smoke to actually play around Roche with is the good news.
So both teams will have the one for the upcoming Roche fight, assuming they go right for it, but it may be a while if they whiff. Slow and steady here, down the home stretch. The Tumba Man is creeping in towards the top lane. As you mentioned, he's really starting to pile in the damage items. Doesn't naturally hit as hard as a TA or even a Wraith King with the crit, but he's a lot more better at finding the backliners, generally speaking.
But the pressure's on him to do it because right now it's just two heroes on the Radiant side really accumulating farm. Slada having to buy back in that last engagement means that Mind Control's item and farm progression isn't happening. He picked up the gem as well for his team, so any kind of BKB pickup is just not happening anytime in the near future. So OG only have the two cores to worry about. The Lone Druid Bear can be fairly easily dealt with by the Sunray. Phoenix was initially kind of came into prominence as a Lone Druid counter, and that's something that Liquid have to be a little bit concerned about.
Yeah, certainly you can see the idea on paper and how it can work with the 1v1 matchup mid being favorable for Lone Druid with the Radiance burn damage over time to deal with Refraction and Tangle to help secure the kills, but there are some downsides in the matchup this game as there are other heroes to worry about.
Both teams gonna hover around the Roche pit now that it's respawned.
And he is up. The big rock has re-entered the space, and they're going to immediately jump in. No-Tail starts it off straight to Kuro. Why must it always be Kuro? But somehow it is. Another crit. Just battering his former teammate. No mercy from Big Daddy. And meanwhile, cleaning up heroes in the rear. They are going to get a kill, but Miracle pays the price. He gets Jirax. He gets away with Safada. Not worth it whatsoever unless he can all give it to my man. And No-Tail slashes him down. An egg to celebrate. That wasn't needed for the kill. A 3-for-1 overall. A big win for OG. Although it looks a little scary there with the death on Miracle early in the fight.
No-Tail's still hunting for more, knowing that he can play hyper-aggressive with Reincarnation up and only two heroes to worry about. This should be enough to set up Roshan for OG.
And it looks like an MKB coming for him, Gods, and a lot of where Liquid have been able to deal with him is evasion, but you're not going to have that Radiance mischance any longer once this MKB's complete.
This is just like a...
I mean, I say that, maybe he'll get a Rapier.
A more aggressive option than the BKB. I really like it from him because just having the damage to kill off the Spirit Bear, to burst down these heroes is what OG needs.
Speaking of which, Savage Roar there, but still they lay into it, and they're going to kill it off. It's... Let's see, does he have the respawn available? Yep, immediately resummons it. Fada, so 2 minutes until he'll have that at his disposal. And as the game goes later, do you see Liquid being able to keep up? You mentioned the buyback hurting Mind Control. Spirit Bear often notorious for falling off in the late game. Is that something that Liquid can deal with?
I think Liquid is struggling a lot right now. Not like the Spirit Bear, yes, falling off, and then you've got three heroes that are kind of in support status. The two actual supports and the Slada, who's not getting any farm whatsoever. Weaver also okay as a scaling late game carry, but to me it's like TA Wraith King. These are the scary two. They've got lifesteal on their side and just natural mobility that can help at least deal with this Weaver. I don't think Weaver can do it all on his own.
You see Boots of Travel now picked up for Moon. He's gone for a lot more utility items here, but he's got quite a bit of mobility now around the map. And with that, OG will hack down the Roshan. They quickly scoop up an Aegis for Miracle, and they find themselves in the driver's seat now as we hit the 40-minute mark.
Fast is still farming up the storm. He gets the BKB on his Spirit Bear. This is what you need against, like, to protect it from these ganks, and also just to team fight with it into the Wraith King Blast as well as the Sunray, which just demolishes the bear.
Still, there's a lot of physical damage, so by no means is this a full solution, but it's a necessary step for Liquid.
And Liquid really, I think, recognize they can't go late game. They want to get this BKB now, because this next fight or two is going to, in a lot of ways, just decide the game outcome for Liquid. They need to find favorable engagements, and it's really hard to do so now that there's an Aegis. OG can kind of pick and choose fights and play around the two lives that both Wraith King and Templar Assassin have.
Yeah, you mentioned that with the BOTs on Moon. If he manages to farm up buyback, they could have 3 heroes re-entering the fight, and at some point he's going to get a BKB, Gods, and when he does, they don't really have a counter for the lasso initiation. Nothing that will, unless they get an incredibly lucky route.
Yeah, and the glimpse is not like instant. By the time he's blinked in, lassoed, and 4-star back, that hero may already be out of position. So
especially with the burst damage that the cores have. Well, it does feel a little bleak as the game goes later for Liquid, but hope is not lost just yet. The base still stands. Tier 2's in the side lanes as well. See Mind Control scavenging around near the pit, searching for scraps.
There's a lot of dire vision in this area. They need to be careful. OG may just come and take this fight.
Oh, they're moving in, but the whole squad is here for Liquid as well as Mind Control. Surges forward, he blinks, he crushes, and he gets the hell out. Yeah, I don't really want to be here. But the tier 2 tower top is under siege, so OG may get some additional income. They're also holding their counterpart, this bottom tier 2. They will not give it up. So more gold for OG.
Miracle can see them coming using these traps too, so trying to get whatever intel he can for his team.
Looking for Kuro. Oh, not again. Not again. Again, says Miracle. Rough game for the Enchantress. He's been so good for the team all tournament long, but Owen sticks here for Kuro. Didn't really win the lanes that hard early. Hasn't managed to have impact in team fights. Continues to give gold away, and now Mind Control is in a bit of danger. They're pursuing him. The race team, no position to get off the stun. The follow-up blaster was there. OG closing on another big kill. They actually dragged him too far away. No Tail's like, let me hit him, damn it. Okay, there you go. Gets the hit off. Now stuns the bear. They chase for a bit more. Flanking from behind is the Elder Titan. Drops the Spirit. Killing off the Spirit there. Still quite nice. And they're going to use it. Again, catching out. Again, stomping it down.
Chris been so good at finding those catches. He's about to get the return off. He forces in with a Yules. Great catch on the bear. Means if they want to push high ground, there's only one Spirit Bear to break through.
Now No Tail grabs a Basher. It doesn't feel like anyone can man fight this Wraith King. And he's sitting on extra lives as well. The lasso will be up in 20 seconds, and OG are starting to close in on a Game 4 win here. It would put the series at 3-1, and they would be the first team ever to win 2 Valve events, to win 2 majors. They're close.
They're getting so close, LG. All it's going to take is one successful high ground push.
One last defense by Liquid. Can they hold the door? Can they hold the line? The racks are falling. They're not moving in fast enough. They're going to give this melee up, and then Miracle says, see you later. So 3 melee has been grabbed.
They're trying to stall for that Aegis to expire. Still a minute left on it, although it doesn't look like OG going to be able to take another high ground push necessarily, although I'm sure they're quite happy to take a team fight. No Tail is in such good fighting shape.
Liquid are on the brink. Such a good run from the lower bracket, but the perhaps the true lower bracket kings here, OG, looking to crush them down the stretch. They've taken the 1 lane. They'll lose their Aegis soon, but that also opens up a slot for Miracle, who's got 5,600 gold now. So another big item could be his for the taking.
Yeah, money is not a problem, and then you put a Daedalus on this guy. Kuro's getting taken out even faster in these team fights.
Yeah, maybe even at MKB, we'll see what the grab is.
And Liquid just, they can't get any damage or value out of the Enchantress in these late game fights. Disruptor's also just getting instantly demolished as well by the blink initiation of OG, so these 2 heroes, on top of that Slider, still no BKB, means he doesn't have that defensive tool to help deal with the AoE damage coming out from OG's draft, as well as just annoying things like Firefly, Flame Breaks, Sunray.
And they're just not really farming that much here, Gods. It's starting to become a big issue. What was once a completely even game up through nearly the 30-minute mark is now expanded into a 14,000 gold advantage for OG with big items reflected there. And there's the MKB together with a double damage rune. Miracle hitting for incredible amounts at this point. And a Shiva's likely coming soon. Not that I'm sure they need it. You can see the difference here. Thoroughly reflected in the supports.
OG still looking very calm in their boots, and they have got to feel that this game is just going to come down to some clean execution, but Liquid...
That's where Liquid has made their comebacks. We saw it against Newbie. Can they pull it off here? They're going to start it off on the Wraith King, perhaps. They're moving towards him, but he rejoins his team. They'll catch him out as TA blinks away, so No Tail slightly left alone. He gets glimpsed back away from where Liquid were chasing him, but also ensuring he won't chase them, and they retreat to the safety of their base. So it's a very tentative movement out.
Yeah, they can try and play around the fact that No Tail doesn't have BKB to some extent, but that's a bigger Wraith King. You've got those 2 lives, so killing him once using your burst damage and chain disables is possible, but that second life is just not going to go in your favor because he's going to have the backup of the Supernova, the Echo Stomp from afar to help protect him once he respawns.
So for OG, have not managed to quite finish off Liquid now. Do you just wait for the next Roshan here? Is that the play, or is there any chance of an aggressive maneuver?
I think they're likely going to wait and test Liquid, like stay near their base in case the Spirit Bear goes out of position.
Well, they lead with the Spirit Bear. Quickly recalled. They're going to wrap around instead. They did scout out Miracle there just for a moment.
That's a pesky war.
And Kuro again. Why is it always Kuro? Down on the low ground. The trap comes out. They're going to glimpse No Tail back right away. He will retreat. Miracle also retreating. OG not feeling like that's the ideal fight. They get the scan off. They know. Liquid are all there. And the Spirit is giving vision. They're moving forward. Miracle's tracking down targets. It is Kuro. The stop just barely. Oh, actually, does click Kuro as the force step came through. They managed to lock down no jump right now, but it's just a few swipes from those side blades to bring him down, and the chase goes further. On to Jarex, the Tumble Man running around under BKB, but not killing anyone. Miracle's killing everyone. Two have fallen already. The Tumble Man hasn't had the effect they needed. He time lapses there and looks to chase for more, but the egg comes out. Crit able to ghost after walk away. The additional farm on these supports, keeping them alive. Not so lucky for the side of Liquid, and now Moon to the top. The lasso comes through. Mom Meander would be proud as they lock down the Tumba. They're closing in. Liquid, no buybacks.
They're in so much trouble here. They've still got two Spirit Bears to fight around. He hasn't even used the BKB yet, but there's been no opportunity to use it. OG are just picking them apart using this blink initiation.
The green dream is materializing here on the big stage in Manila. The racks are falling. Even if they kill No Tail once, they gotta do it again, and he's not dead yet. Miracle going up to a mega kill. The bear about to drop will pop the BKB, but they beat down Mana. They go Scepter deployed defensively. The bear will fall. The heroes next. OG are doing it. Liquid, they can't withstand the punishment. OG are the Manila Major Champions. Second time, the first ever team to repeat.
Well, Moon can be happy. They're now a two-patch team, LD. OG, incredible performance from start to finish, never even dropping down to the lower bracket. This team, they dropped game one, but they had a game plan. They sat back, they prepared, they pulled out their plan B strats, and they came at Liquid, guns blazing, didn't give them any room to breathe.
I'm not sure anyone is more proud than Mama Moon right now.
And this
First man out of the booth, boy, this was a team effort, but after watching that video,